Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse for the Genesis/Mega Drive. We completed the first two stages in the last video, and now we are going to do stages 3 and 4. Stage 3, that storm level that I mentioned in the practice run, the one with the stormy sky. And this secret that I mentioned in the practice run, where you go down the first pit and go to the left for a bunch of white diamonds and a bag of marbles, well, that still applies. Also, I'm getting pretty close to another extra life, so I might as well just go ahead and kill off a whole bunch of mushrooms so that way I can get it. And then it's time to take the top road, because where else are we gonna be able to go? Just like in the practice mode, leap across the bridges so that way they don't fall on you. And watch out for the fish. Also, you want to stop and take care of the bats when you stop at that edge. Now, we have to go down sometime, because at this point, the top of this part of the third stage is a little different from practice mode. It's not like you can just go down the last pit and boom, there's the exit. However, if you do take the top road from here, we'll be able to beat up a couple of more mushroom enemies and get these 2 stars to bring our health to maximum. I recommend getting these in case you really don't want to die and you're not in the mood for losing lives. Now, there is an area you want to go down. That's not it. That takes you to this geyser. Take you up here, and you'll have to make your way to the left again. This isn't the spot, so we're going to have to use the butt bounce to get to here, and here's where you want to drop. Go left, get carried over here, and you will now be at the exit. But you're not done yet, because you have another section to deal with. Now you are in a rather ancient temple. Leap around so that way you can trick the bats into coming at you from like above your head, above head level. And try to avoid more bats as you make your way through this area. I'm leaping around and making short hops a little bit. And I also threw a marble at that bat. Threw a marble at those 2 bats just in case. At least the first one was going to hit. Because Mickey feels a little slower in this version compared to the Master System version. That's why I'm kind of leaping around a little bit. We just saw a waterfall there. You do not want to run into those, because those will take you into the bottomless pit below. And you will lose a life to the impending fall into the abyss. You want to go take the lower path. And these platforms are a little easier than you would want to believe. If you can get Mickey's foot on the platform on his way down, you can land on him. They're just big enough for him to land on. Just remember that he can be a little bit slippery sometimes. The momentum can be a little bit off in this game. That waterfall kind of messes with you, and that waterfall is there to catch you out. But if you stay on that platform, get your foot on it before hitting it, and stay there, you won't be carried into the abyss, and you won't be starting that whole section over. Now you're in section 3, and you have to get away from the water and find higher ground, because the water constantly rises and lowers. And if you're caught in the water, you're going to lose a hit point, and you're also going to be carried back a bit. I actually pressed down to the sound of the bass pattern here, and as you can see, that kind of cost me because I wasn't really ready to go as soon as the water lowered. Thankfully, I managed to be on the lookout this time around, and it paid off. Well, I tried to move to the sound of the horns in that part anyway. Threw a marble at that bat just in case. Thankfully he didn't hit me. And there are two bats that come at you here. Now once you reach this part, you want to make your way to the exit as soon as the water lowers. Be sure to hop to the right so that way you can actually cover more ground in less time. Now it's time to face this boss, which is this ancient statue, which shoots out kappas, these Japanese fish man creatures. These kappas will come out of the top of the statue's head, and you have to throw marbles at them in order to immobilize them and send them into the lowest part of the statue. As you send kappas into the statue will lose its segments, and you'll eventually take down the head and get the yellow gem. Now that we have the yellow gem, we have 3 gems down and 4 more to go. And thankfully, this is a very short game, because we're going to find 2 in the next stage. There are only 5 stages inside of this game. Now that we completed the 3 doors in the lower level, it's time to go upstairs and open this door. We are now in the library. This should be familiar if you played the Master System version. Also, the red A's, yeah, they move and jump around. They kind of want to be in the air with you. And they're harder to take down in the Genesis version, so you're better off throwing stuff at them. Actually, you can't throw stuff at them because, well, they're going to be too low for it. You can try to jump on them, but it's best to avoid them. And by jumping into the milk bottle, we are here in Candyland. Sort of. We do have Swedish fish jumping about. We have these candy bridges. This one falls down when you put your weight on it, so be sure to bounce to the other side if you need to, avoiding the Swedish fish. I'm pretty sure the milk river will kill you straight away. I didn't want to chance it, so therefore I don't really know what it does. I'm pretty sure it might kill you. And thankfully, instead of breaking apart, this bridge moves up and down. It can kind of catch you off guard. Again, be ready to avoid Swedish fish. This bridge crumbles, and now you have these rotating vanilla wafer platforms. Be sure to take a ride on them and get as many apples as you can. Yep, the apples from the forest stage are back here. As I move to the music here, we eventually make our way to the exit, and we get the green gem. At least you don't have to go to some random part of the level in order to get the green gem, like you did in the Master System version. Now that we're out of there, it's time to go up, bounce on the maggots. They're pretty easy enemies to deal with. And get up here. There are planes flying towards us, but if we're on the roof, we can easily kick them away. And I forgot all about those falling segments. You definitely want to bounce your way across those segments, because those things will send you right back to where those A's are. And the A's are much harder to deal with on Mega Drive than on the Master System. You might take a hit from that plane. Sometimes it'll happen. But hopefully you'll be ready for the next part. You want to get into this little hole here and keep ducking until these books that try to crush you are way above your head. Because if you duck down and then get right back up before those books start going back up, and you hit your head on the books, it will hurt you. and you will lose a hit point. It would have killed me at this point. Also, you don't have to go up here at this point. Actually, you will. But I do go up here anyway to replenish one of my hits before I go into the T. Now, you don't have to go in here, but I might as well show it off because these sections have some really good music to them. And you can also get some bonus stuff in them too. There's a couple of white diamonds that you can pick up. I suggest grabbing them for the points because you never know when you might need an extra life. And that bottom one there, you have to be pretty careful to grab because those sugar cubes will hurt you. Thankfully, I managed to get to the other side without getting hit. And now we can go up again. All the stuff that we picked up, the bag of apples, the 2 apples over there, the star, they have all respawned. So I now have 3 hits to work with, and plenty more apples to throw at enemies. Now you can either swing to the other side, or you can just go all the way across this slope here and jump into this T. I'm pretty sure the upper pass just takes you to some collectibles, but if you go into this cup of tea, you'll be able to get a couple of apples in here. Just be careful not to go into the bottomless pit down there. I'm pretty sure that's a bottomless pit. And try not to get hit by the sugar cubes that move around and spin in place. As you do this, you'll eventually be able to leave as soon as you get to the other side. And you'll eventually have to come down here anyway to get into this second milk bottle. This is the boss battle, where you take on this interesting red candy dragon. You have the butt bounce on his head when he gets low enough. I almost die here, but thankfully I didn't. Your best strategy is to stand on the center platform and butt bounce on this dragon's head. If he appears right next to you, if you're afraid you can't make it up there and do the butt bounce by the time his head is above the platform, do yourself a favor, don't even try to do the attack and just duck until he goes away. And with that boss beaten, I get another extra life, and we get the blue gem. Only ones we have left to get are Indigo and Violet, and those will be in the next stage. Speaking of things to get in the next stage, we'll be able to get another extra life, but that will have to wait all of that until the next video. So join me next time where I go through the 5th stage, Miserabel's Castle. Until then, this is Prince Watercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!